Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine video. Now, this one's going to be very different, but before we jump into it, as per usual, gotta go through the usual spiel. If you like this type of content, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and of course, drop me a comment down below. Love hearing about from you guys, and it goes a massive way to helping out the channel too. Now, this is a Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine video. You may be wondering why you're staring at blank cutting mat. And you may be thinking, hang on, we've already had this week's video because we've already had good old issue number 64, which the video came out not long ago for that one. And in all honesty, it's because, yeah, we're going to actually go back in time. So, obviously, every magazine that we've done on this channel, we've had issues that have been missing, and this one has been one of the worst ones for it. So there's 2 issues that are still missing from this video collection and playlist and everything like that, that in all honesty has been really annoying. It's been frustrating the hell out of me, and if you're a bit of a completionist, it will be a bit frustrating and annoying and everything like that. But in all honesty, we're going to remedy it because we have our issue number 12. So, literally 12 months ago, we should have been going through this issue. It's really frustrating how long we've had to wait for this one. Now, we are going to go into the reason why we have this issue finally, and in all honesty, we have issue number 13. So, my magazine I pick up from my local newsagent, so I do go fetch them. They've been very good, and they have been trying to get hold of issue 12 and 13 for me for months, unsuccessfully, which has been really frustrating, to the point where I just randomly went on good old Forbidden Planet the other day, and lo and behold, when you search Combat Patrol, issue 12 and issue 13 appeared. So, annoyingly, we are going to go through 12-month-old issues like they're brand new, because Hatship Artworks or the magazine distributor or anyone like that has been useless and not being able to get them to places when companies like Forbidden Planet order so many copies of it. They've managed to get issues that they have in back stock from it. So, a back issue of good old Combat Patrol magazine. Yeah, just to complete the playlist and make sure that we have all 90 issues in a playlist, to satisfy my own personal mentalism, I'm going to guess, in a roundabout way. Anyway, so issue 12 of good old Combat Patrol magazine, part 1 of 2 of the Space Marine Terminators and Teleporter. So, this brew obviously has a few little bits. So it has the teleport beacon on here, and a few parts to good old push-fit Terminators. Now, push-fit Terminators aren't always the best. Push-fit models aren't always the best. I'm not a big fan of them. Could really take or leave push-fit minis, but now we have it, we might as well go through it. So, I will be building these guys up. I will be spray painting them when we have nice warm weather again, and we will be going through them, and I will be adding them to my good old Space Marine units, and yeah, decide from there what I'm going to do with them, because I'm not a big Space Marine fan. However, for the completionist part of me, I needed this, so it's about bloody time. Anyway, push-fit minis, not always the best. There are many ways of kind of remedying the push-fit problem. So, trimming down things like the peg can help. Cutting a little slight sliver out of the where it kind of pokes into and all that type of stuff, to kind of remedy the problems that the push-fit minis do have with the trapped good old air. Apparently, some of the plastic cement can melt part of the peg and kind of release the trapped air that way, which is a trick that I've not tried yet. However, I might do soon. But yeah, really, really good stuff. It's about time we got these guys, and obviously the next issue that you're going to see on this channel will be the other part of this, and the very, 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 very late Space Marine Terminators. It is what it is. Anyway, going back in time and pretending that we didn't have 42 issues, or whatever it is, 52 issues between this. Between these issues and for where we are now, we have our build guide. Very, very straightforward. Push fit minis, so you don't really have to fanny around with them or anything like that. You can just glue them up and have a bit of fun. You don't even need glue, in fact. So what am I saying glue them up for? Now, these guys come with tactical rocks, because what Space Marine is not complete without a tactical rock. Yeah, tactical rocks, they make the bases look a little bit nicer and a little bit better, but are they 100% necessary all the time? No. Can they be very, very handy when you're not very good at, when you maybe, I don't know, can't be bothered with basing? Yes, in all honesty, they can. I mean, look at things like the Space Marine Chaplain on bike. That base is really, really good because of the tactical rock. So this is the base. That tactical rock makes it look really, really nice, fills in all that gap, and then you can just fill in around it, which makes it a lot better and gives it a nice, unique look to it. So it is what it is. Anyway, pretty good stuff. Obviously, you need issues 12 and 13 put together to make the whole lot and everything like that. So very straightforward. They're very easy to build because they're push fit minis, so they are very, very, very straightforward. But we're going to move on straight from there. So we're going to go straight into more of the Space Marine lore, all to do with the tactical doctrine of the Space Marines. So Space Marines are no mere blunt instrument. They are masters of seizing the initiative, and their commanders possess superhuman intelligence. This is exemplified in the tactical doctrine. The Codex Astrates, the legendary tactical manual that is the root of nearly all Space Marine strategy, emphasises flexibility in warfare above all else. When the swirling chaos of battle presents no clear path to victory, wise Space Marine commanders declare the tactical doctrine to be in effect. This doctrine is more subtle than the punishing fusillades of the devastated doctrine or the furious charge of the assault doctrine, but no less effective. Even as they bring the fight to the enemy, the Space Marines will plot the best possible plan of attack. So, Space Marines are not just a smash and grab unit. They are not a flood the enemy with firepower or anything like that. They will utilise multifaceted and everything like that. So they may use the Devastators to punish enemies and thin the enemy ranks and such like that. And then they will use the Assault Doctrine to kind of push forward and move the enemy lines along and back as well. They will use the Tactical Doctrine to overrule everything and go through the actual tactics side of it and moving pieces here, there and everywhere, like a very, very tactical game of chess on the battlefield. So they are not your average units. They are not your average rules of engagement or anything like that. They are very, very unique to the Space Marines, which is pretty cool. So, the Tactical Doctrine and a lot of the Codex Astartes came from Rebut Gilliman, who obviously being the Primarch of the Ultramarines, is also one of the most famous of the Primarchs of the Space Marine ranks, and away he goes. So pretty cool stuff. And you get a little bit more information on the other side as well about things like the bolt rifles, storm bolter and assault bolters, and Space Marines that would carry them. So for instance, the bolt rifles may be carried by your regular Space Marine units, like the infiltrators and the good old assault squads. The storm bolter carried by like your Terminators and your more heavily armoured Space Marines, who will utilise it because it gives a lot more, packs a lot more of a punch. And then your assault bolter that may be carried by, say, like the good old I can't even remember what they're called now, them units. Yeah, but some of the other kind of more kind of drop in and attack units that can kind of just fly into battle and have a bit of fun with it, and kind of more your fast attacks and everything like that. Then you've got more information about the assault doctrine as well. So, for all their technology training and advanced conditioning, the Space Marines are perhaps the deadliest of all in brutal close combat. When the time is right, Space Marines will use the assault doctrine, sprinting headlong towards the enemy for a decisive charge, should I say. Every Space Marine is a deadly close combatant. Being charged by a Space Marine is akin to being hit by a small vehicle. Even unarmed, the gauntleted blows of a power armoured warrior are capable of shattering skulls and cracking armour. The assault doctrine is often the final move made by a Space Marine commander. At a word of the Space Marines, who until now have been advancing carefully while providing covering fire, leap from their positions and charge. So, you get a little bit of a picture of that. To give you a bigger picture of it, if you play games like Space Marine 2 or anything like that, you will see a little bit of that in action from good old Lieutenant Titus here, or Captain Titus, and such like that. And how he kind of progresses through the game will kind of determine how your different doctrines and everything like that. So he'll go from being more tactical to being more assault based and everything like that. So it's just the options of weapons and how they deploy their tactics going forward. So whether they're charging forward, utilising power swords or power fists and hammers and such like that, they were using more of the assault doctrine, taking the fight to the enemy in a very rapid motion and running forward. So pretty cool stuff. And yeah, they may have power swords, power fists, chainswords and pistols over having the assault rifles in action. So gives you a little bit of an idea of how to differentiate the different assaults that good old Space Marines may use and the different doctrines. So obviously issue 12 is a very, very early issue, so this is how to go through all things like the battle shock test. So if you're building up your collection and you wanted to go through all the rules and everything like that, this page goes very, very nicely and gives you information about how to do things like your battle shock tests and such like that. So I'm not going to go through it too much because yeah, you're more likely not in the position that I'm in, where this magazine is brand new to you, because you may have already had this one. Anyway, battle shock tests and go through there, and we even have a very nice early scenario as well in the shape of Hold or Die. So, which, you know, puts your Librarian, Captain and Infernus squad up against the Termagants, Von Ryan Leapers, Wing Tyrannid Pride and Barb Gourds and some of the Tyrannid terrain as well. So, you get to have a little bit of fun with that one, see how it goes. Obviously, it's still very early days in the magazine. This one was walking you through how to play it, how to play the scenario, and how to utilise all the different bits and pieces, including wound tracking and such like that. So, have a bit of fun with it. If you've played it already, let me know how you got on with it, and if you enjoyed the scenario and if it was worthwhile, and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. And obviously, battle shock is very, very important to your games. So yeah, definitely worth learning about. Then, obviously, we're not going to go talk about the next issue because we are going to go through that issue in a moment. But for now, thank you very, very much for watching this blast from the past, essentially. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you later.